Hey, people, listen. Happy Friday, y'all. We are like 2 seconds for Christmas. I ain't ready. I'm ready, but I'm not ready, but I'll be ready when the time comes, y'all. But right now, I still got a little more shopping to do, okay? So I'm not completely ready, but I'm going to get ready. But in the meantime, listen, people. Happy Friday. I'm glad y'all spending time with the Diva. I appreciate y'all being here and y'all coming through. And don't forget, hit the like button, okay? The Diva is working. I'll be working to the end of this year. We're going to close out 2025 together. We opened it together. I'm trying to fix my glasses. They look a little crooked. We opened it together. We're going to close it together. What's up, Michael? Okay, I think I got her. We're going to close it together. So thank y'all for being here, okay? So listen, tonight, I put the title on the thumbnail, wow, but these are real stories with real consequences, okay? Real stories, real consequences. We're going to hit it and quit it tonight, all right? So this paternity fraud case, I'll never understand it. I'll never understand. Listen, when you are a certain age, you already know you lay down with somebody, you have sexual relations with somebody, you don't use any protection, there's a good chance that a birth or a pregnancy may come out of said situation. If you don't want the person you are about to lay down with to get pregnant and have your baby, either don't lay down with them or make sure you using something, they're using something, and then you use something again on top of that. This man, he gets a baby mama, he's pregnant, but he must have some other chick he was about to marry. So he got married. He had a baby with the previous baby mother. He didn't want the wife to know. So when the previous baby mother said, listen, acknowledge your daughter, he didn't want to. She took him to court. He wanted a paternity test. He sends his friend down to the courthouse to do the paternity test. The paternity comes back, the baby, you are not the father, because she knew she only slept with him and that it was definitely his baby. And he has a child with her already. So the brother looked just like the sister. But anyway, he claimed it wasn't his. And when the test came back, she said, that's a lie. And she went down and she followed up. They gave her the footage of the person that came in to take the paternity test. And she said, that ain't the daddy. She said, that ain't the daddy. So now guess what? Him and his stupid friend who agreed to do this paternity test for him, they both locked up and could face 15 years in jail. I mean, how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Literally. So instead of you acknowledging the kid, Tara, I appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. Instead of you acknowledging the kid, you wanted to get out of it. Now you facing 15 years behind bars. Your wife know now. People are just straight stupid. You can't make this stuff up. Real stories, real consequences. Then we got caregiver neglect. Paraplegic. He needs round-the-care help. He got day nurses, night nurses, evening nurses. The nurses are the aides that come in. This is them at night. Sleep. And they supposed to be turning him, making sure they catheterize him. But instead, they sleeping. Sleep on the job. He sent pictures. He's been complaining. And guess what? Still nobody helping him. A tragedy. If you can't stay up for your night shift, you need not do the night shift. We're going to talk about it. And then the last story is a couple is banned for life from the school properties, every last one of them, where they live. Because it was a basketball game, I'm assuming their kid was in the game. They didn't like what went down. The husband approaches the female employee at the school. Next thing you know, you see the video. He clocked her out. What kind of man put his hands on a woman? He clocked her out, and now they banned for life. I told you, it's too much going on at these sports games when they're little. And then we wonder why when it comes to the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA, and all the professional sports, the people are acting a fool and acting crazy because it starts out when they're younger. A whole hot, stinking, nasty mess. Ridiculous. Listen, people, I done talked enough. We're going to bring the people on in the building. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. It's real stories, real consequences, and all I can say is, wow. We got the paternity fraud case. We got the caregiver neglect, and we got the lifetime school ban. Now, how would they ever bring their kid to school, pick their kid up from school? Something happened in the school, they got to send somebody else? It's a hot, stinking mess. Let me bring the people on in. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, In My Opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Katrina. Listen, people, we're going to get right into
Diva. Hey, panel.
Hey, let me get right into this. Let me share a screen. This is just crazy. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Let's do the paternity one first. Just ridiculous.
In tonight with that shocking paternity test imposter. Prosecutors say a Macomb County man hired a stand-in for DNA test. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us tonight. That test was to determine the father of a 2-year-old girl. But now both men are behind bars.
Tonight, 7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wembley is talking to that child's mother about how this paternity test plot was unraveled.
It was crazy because it's like I already had a feeling that he was doing something sneaky, but I didn't think that he would do that.
Isis Harton was stunned to learn Mark McCracken, the man with whom she's had an on-again, off-again situationship, has been charged alongside an accomplice in an alleged fraudulent paternity test scheme. The Macomb County Prosecutor's Office says McCracken arranged for 36-year-old Derek Harrison to impersonate him at a DNA paternity test appointment last September. The test was ordered to determine the paternity of Harton's 2-year-old daughter, Talia.
She's fun. She's very smart.
Harton says McCracken wanted nothing to do with the girl, despite the two sharing an 8-year-old son.
He just said that he doesn't want his wife to know about her and that he doesn't want anything to do with her.
He's married?
Yes.
Wow.
He is. He wasn't married when he got me pregnant.
Investigators say Harrison submitted his DNA at the appointment while posing as McCracken. The test initially came back saying McCracken was not Talia's father.
He got caught because I went back up there because I knew that the DNA test was wrong.
And there was evidence. The county sent Harden a picture of the man who showed up for that paternity test, and to her shock, it was not McCracken.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? He really went to that extent, like that far.
Is that the guy that you saw?
Yeah, he looked a little bit different. I have seen him before. That looks like one of his workers.
Have you ever seen a case where a guy is supposed to go in for a paternity test, but he sends in someone else in his stead?
Never.
Macomb County prosecutor Pete Lucido charged both men with tampering and says McCracken may have been trying to avoid child support responsibility. The county has about $300 million in arrearages. Lucido says his office recovered more than $3 million since 2021.
A child only has one childhood. They don't get two. And if you can't make it the best childhood and support that child, then what are we doing as parents?
All that to deny a beautiful, innocent young girl.
We reached out to McCracken's lawyer for comment. He says his client is entitled to the presumption of innocence. Both men are still lodged here at the Macomb County Jail. They both have criminal histories, which means they could spend up to 15 years in prison if convicted on that underlying charge of tampering with evidence. I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
All right. Thank you so much, Rand.
Disgusting. Savannah?
What a big dummy.
Mm.
I mean, I'm baffled at the level of deceit that people will go through to cover their dirt. And I just, kudos to her for knowing that he was sneaky and he would do something dirty. So kudos to her um, for going down there and for seeing the video and calling him out. And now his wife is going to have, so now his wife is single. Um, Everything he avoided and tried to cover up just exploded all over his face. And did I hear the story correctly? They already share an 8-year-old.
Already
So
shared,
he has,
yo.
so
And
he
the
has,
boy and the little girl look just alike. I think what triggered her to go down there, Savannah, was that she knew who she was sleeping with, and she knew there was no way he could not be the father. And that's what took her down there. Because when
but
the
that's also,
back, she
I
said
also,
she already knew. Like, come on.
right. But I also think because I'm looking at her a little bit sideways too. You knew who this man was. He was a snake. Because
Right.
if you had those indications that he was going to do something dirty, he was doing that when you laid down after baby number one.
Fact.
So, and yeah, so I'm looking at her too, but kudos to her for going down there and uncovering it. I'm just not surprised anymore with humanity. I can't. It's just poor Maury.
I know.
I don't know.
Ah! In my opinion, your thoughts?
Well, both of them snakes to me, if you ask me, because she knew he was dating somebody when she laid
Ooh.
down with him, and he knew he was dating somebody when he laid down with him. So both of y'all is snakes. You mad that the snake tried to snake you when you tried to snake him too?
Mm.
You know what? Here's the thing. You never win when you play dirty.
Mm.
He should get his upcomings, and she gonna get hers too. Because if he locked up, he can't give you no child support. So
Katrina, your thoughts?
I thought he was married.
He got married afterwards.
Girl, you married a fool.
Well,
And that's
so no, hold on. The wife, he didn't want the wife to know about the second baby because I think, in my opinion, is spot on. She was still messing with him. He was with somebody else that he was about to marry. Because she loved it. She made sure she pointed out that, when he created the baby, he wasn't married. He got married afterwards, but the wife had no idea. She probably knew about the 8-year-old. She didn't know about the new baby.
girl a mess, and he's a mess. If he's already cheating, seemed like he was cheating through your whole relationship, and now he's still messing with this girl. I guess he feels like, well, I can have my cake and ice cream and bananas on top. This is ridiculous. And then he is stupid anyway because when you going down there for child support and DNA, normally they take a polarized picture of you and ask the person, is this the dad, or ask the dad, is this the mom and this the child that you supposed to be paying child support to or getting a DNA test. So he's stupid on all ways. And then that person right there, you did something fraudulent because you went down there trying to help your homeboy out because he probably helped you out of a situation a time or two, and now both of you locked up. And the thing of it is, she won't be getting no child support because he's locked up. But that's the sad situation. And girl, you brought your baby into this world knowing that this man was with another woman and it was already cheating on you. This is ridiculous. And yes, both of them deserve to stay behind bars because both of them is stupid. That's all I got.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
I'm not going to give her a side eye because you don't know what he was telling her.
That's true.
He could have been telling her anything. Okay, she got 2 kids. She had unprotected sex. So what? It takes 2 to tango. It's his kid, and he needs to pay. There's no side eye with her that, well, you should have should have used some protection. You wouldn't have had this kid, whatever. Well, he could have used protection too.
You better talk, Wayne.
Come on, Wayne, speak up.
This go both ways. This go both ways.
Come on, Wayne.
So she ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. He got to get up off that money. And I agree with who just said about him not going to, jail. But now they know he's the father. If they give him a fine or whatever, and garnish that check, whatever they have to do. No, but no shade to her. No shade to her. That's it.
All right. Well, no shade to her. I ain't mad at you, Wayne. Listen, we're gonna I will say this. Just in general, I don't understand how men get so crazy over the kids they made. For instance, I never forget, I think it was a football player. You followed this girl, the girlfriend. He didn't want her to have the baby. He followed her, ended up taking her life. The baby ended up living but has CP. And the child has got to be 19, probably an adult at this time. Ray Caruth. Yeah, it's like I don't understand it. Just like with 50 Cent, his first, I think it's the firstborn son. They just don't get along. He doesn't even speak to his own son. I don't know who if Ramir is Jay-Z's son or not. But my thing is, if there's a kid walking around this world talking about I'm their mother, snatch the hair out my head, swab my mouth. If I'm 10 toes down that's not my kid, I don't understand why Jay-Z just doesn't take the test. Like that man said in the video, in a news clipping, he said the child got one childhood. What are we doing if we can't be a parent to the child we created? It's messy. So you rather be in jail. You're a big dummy. You rather be in jail than to just let your wife know, yo, I got this kid. And I'm going to have to pay child support to 2 kids over that way. Anyway, we're going to roll right into the next story. And the next story is, hey, everybody, I see y'all out there. Hello. Thanks for being here. Let me roll into this next story. This is sad. I'll do the man that, the caregiver sleeping on the job.
Sleeping on the job. Well, this next story is about a DC man who says people he relies on to keep him safe throughout the night often fall asleep and putting him at risk.
They're nurses and aides provided by the district with your tax dollars. As Tracy Wilkins in the News 4 I-Team found out, advocates are raising alarms about this growing risk they say is impacting some of the most vulnerable in our city.
Damon Brooks knows the value of a good team.
I don't like no typos, no misinformation.
As a writer for the Monumental Sports Network, he makes his living covering athletes.
I write about local colleges, high schools, and local professional teams.
And that team mentality is even more important for Damon off the job at home.
So, Damon, it's very clear to me that you are a go-getter, that you're going to meet your goals, but you still need help.
Absolutely.
13 years ago, a tragic wrestling accident with a friend left him a paraplegic. He depends on nurses and aides throughout the day, managed through a city program funded by Medicaid. It allows him to remain in his own home.
Your morning nurse is fantastic.
She's outstanding. We'd have no problems at all. She's like a mother to me. I love her to death.
Helping him with everyday tasks, checking his vitals, getting him ready for work, then for bed. A different team is supposed to monitor him overnight. That's when he says things get harder.
Every night since, I've unfortunately had this accident, I've had employees sleeping, snoring on the job, neglecting me. Sometimes I've been left sitting in wet chucks. Sometimes I've been, just neglected to use the bathroom, and it's been very difficult for me.
It's become such an issue, he's installed cameras around his apartment in plain sight. He says he's collected hours of employees appearing to sleep through the night.
They're supposed to be repositioning me, catheterizing me on time. They're not supposed to be sleeping and snoring, and they're supposed to be attentive to my needs, but sadly, that hasn't been the case.
He says he's complained for years.
I've sent pictures, I've sent emails to the nursing agency, the deputy mayor, council members. I've done multiple things to try to get assistance.
But says the problem has only gotten worse.
If there was an emergency in this apartment overnight, do you think you'd be taken care of?
Truthfully, I don't know.
He says in the last few weeks, he's had nurses and aides simply not show up for the overnight shift, leaving his mom to help him.
I won't lie, I've cried several nights. I've cried multiple mornings. It's a very depressing situation.
Advocates have raised concerns, too, about sleeping on the job earlier this year at a D.C. Council roundtable discussion on long-term care.
There's a very serious problem of aides showing up with no intention to work. Many of my clients report and have photos of aides arriving for the overnight shift, midnight to 8 a.m., with blankets, pillows, hair rollers, clearly intending to sleep.
Attorney Holly Eaton says because of a shortage of aides or PCAs, home health agencies allow their employees to avoid what they consider more difficult cases because they worry they'll quit.
If the beneficiary is able to articulate his needs, ask for assistance, and oversee what the PCAs are doing, the aides do not want to return to that job because they object to being told what to do and don't like being watched.
If you know you sign up for in the night shift, you go to sleep during the day. We all make sacrifices day in and day out. Just because it's a night shift doesn't mean you have the ability or the right to sleep.
A spokesperson for the Department of Healthcare Finance, which oversees the program for the city, told the I-Team, DHCF expects that all nurses or personal care aides are consistently available to deliver services as needed, safely and appropriately as needed, and in accordance with a Medicaid beneficiary's plan of care.
They have the ultimate oversight and sanctioning and enforcement authority.
Mark Miller with the Office of the D.C. Long-Term Care Ombudsman says the Department of Healthcare Finance can and should do more. He says every time one of these overnight aides closes their eyes, they are essentially stealing from taxpayers.
You're taking taxpayer dollars and not providing the service that you've contracted to provide. And there's really no other way to capture that. I mean, we would look at that as fraud. We also would look at that as potential neglect or abuse.
How big is this problem?
It's hard to know because I think some of it is unreported. Some people, like I said, do not want to kind of rock the boat because they're afraid then they won't get any aids in the evening or on weekends.
Damon doesn't have that fear and has complained to his case manager, the city, and nursing agencies.
How many night nurses do you think you've been through?
Over 40 with this particular agency.
He worries his reputation for accountability is scaring the help he needs away. But he says his fight is about more than himself.
I'm just really worried about, others, because if the others are subjected to this, that means we may have casualties, and that's something I really want to prevent from occurring.
We did ask DHCF about any steps it's taken to address the sleeping complaints and also reached out to the various agencies that have provided aids to Damon. We did not hear back. We did find a sleeping complaint filed back in 2023 with one agency Damon has used. In that report, the agency said it retrained the employees on its sleeping policy and gave them a verbal warning.
Tracy, the agency says it's hard to retain aides and nurses because of the work that's required, and they don't want to be told what to do. But then you have Damon saying, I'm not getting the care I need. So what can you do? What can be done?
Yeah, it's complicated. Advocates we talked to say that there needs to be more follow-up after someone makes a complaint, but also there needs to be more discussion to address the shortage crisis, incentives for nurses and aides to work overnight and weekend shifts, like getting overtime. These are tough shifts, and we know some of these aides are likely working multiple jobs to make ends meet. And that's something that the advocates say. You have to provide a living wage, and that's what we're imagining. There are a lot of people who have multiple jobs, but this is one of them that they need to stay awake for.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
also, it's important. I mean, Damon has a lot of courage here in coming forward and saying something when you should feel safe in your own home. And the fact that, there may be some hesitation in him sounding the alarm about something because it's about the care in his own home and whether or not he'll get that, your heart goes out to anybody that may be in those very similar circumstances. It's not easy for them. And my goodness, it's important reporting. Tracy, thank you for bringing that to light.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
It's a sad situation. It's a complicated situation. I did night shifts. So Savannah, your thoughts?
So thank goodness that he had videos set up and that he has been gathering his evidence, because some of them got downright comfortable. They were getting ready to get a good 6 to 7 hours sleep there.
Mhm.
And then in the story, they said there was only one agency with one write-up. No, and I'm glad that he brought it out to the media because, and to government leadership in DC, because no one, the agencies weren't really doing their due diligence by teaching or retraining these CNAs and or reprimanding them, whether it's write-up, dismissals, or not allowing them to work with him anymore. But I understand that there is a shortage. I have family members who does this type of work, and it's I always tell them I don't know how they do it. You have to have a really big heart to be dealing, whether it's with seniors or with our special needs citizens. Um, uh, and they do that. They have had the night shift before, but they're required to stay awake. You're on the job. You're doing your 8-9 hours. You're required to be alert because if he has an emergency, you're required to be that first responder at that time. So I'm glad this young man had video camera set up. He probably got tired and fed up with his non-care. Imagine him. I can't even imagine him laying in bed, needing to go to the restroom, and not having anyone to help him or assist him with his needs. So this is so unfortunate, but I'm glad that it's been brought to light, and because the agencies now and the government of DC, before Muriel Bowser leaves, she needs to go ahead and make some changes. And they need to vet these agencies that they pay these checks to and who they hire. Is their I know there's certification and classes that they need to take, and if they fail to do their job, they need to be reprimanded and let go. That's bottom line. If I fall asleep at my job, I get reprimanded. I get write-ups and, loss of pay or days, whatever. So it's no different here.
Yeah, it is very sad. So I did 12-hour shifts. I worked 7P to 7A. And as soon as I could get up, because I never was a night person to begin with, but I did what I had to do. So, but as soon as I could get off that shift, I did. But I never went to sleep. But it is a huge sacrifice. But like he said, if you sign up for that shift, then you make the sacrifice. You need to sleep during the day. And that's what I did. And it throws off your whole cycle, like, because it's just crazy. But if you agree to work that shift, then you agreed to stay up during that shift. It's wrong. And so I'm taking it that he's paralyzed where he has to be catheterized, because he also talked about being catheterized. He talked about being soiled and needing his diaper changed, and they're just asleep on the job, and they're supposed to turn him so he doesn't get bed sores. So they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So it's almost like he's there by himself. It's a shame. Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, I want to know what kind of training you give somebody to stay up at night to work. They're getting paid for. These people are thieves. And what do you do with these thieves? Hit them where it hurts their pockets. They got it on video how long these people were sleeping. They still working. Instead of you during reprimand, take that money out their check. For all those days in the hours they were asleep, they need to dock their pay. Okay, and why are they worried about they may not get people? Well, you ain't got nobody. If they sleeping, that's just as well not having nobody.
You ain't lying.
I tell you one thing, if they sleeping overnight so they can be ready for their job in the morning, hit them where it hurts. Hit that pocket. When they have to start paying that money back because they was not on the clock, they'll change. You won't have to teach them to stay awake at night. When they come snatch that car and all the other little things they like, they'll learn. Talk about train, they giving them training about staying up at night. That's bull crap. Get that money back from them. That's it.
Okay, Wayne, we see you ain't playing tonight. Okay, thank you, Wayne. In my opinion, your thoughts, Tara. Thank you so much for all your super chats. Much appreciated. Thank you for sharing the love. In my opinion, your thoughts?
My thoughts is it shouldn't have to be that he's complaining this hard for this long. I agree that our systems need to change. Everything that's connected to government services, they never follow up. Those are the people that are hurt the most. And those are the ones that need the care the most. So something needs to be done in the government office as well. I agree with Wayne. They need to hit these people in the pockets because you might as well not have nobody if this is what they're doing. Because this man is caring for himself. But we also need to work on these people that are in these government offices collecting their checks as well and not doing their jobs. Because he's reported this. He sent videos, pictures, emails. How much more proof you need? How much more training can you give somebody who comes there with rollers and pillows and blankets?
It's almost like they showing up that, okay, we're going to go to night together.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, you better go to sleep because we finna go to sleep. No, that's not your job. Your job is to care for your patient. And if you didn't want the job, then don't take the job. Because I'm pretty sure they told you what shift you were going to be on when you took it. And when you agreed to it and you knew you couldn't do it, why did you take it? Because now you're playing with somebody else's life. And that's not fair. So while I agree that they should deduct the money from these people, they should be deducting these people that was taking these complaints and talking about some we retraining them. Because how you retraining somebody that's sleeping on the job?
I appreciate you in my opinion. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva. And that's the sad thing. You know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you're caring for one of your relatives or you staying with that person, the state will pay you to keep them to keep them at home so that they don't have to go to a nurse home, but they will pay you for that. And thanks for our president that passed the law that the nursing homes can work short because each CNA or aide have a set amount of patients they're supposed to have on different shifts. But he passed a law that they don't have to go by those regulations anymore, which is totally dumb because they barely was getting people getting enough help in the first place. And if you're gonna go to sleep, just stay on at home because anything can happen to this man while you knocked out. You know what I'm saying? If you sleep and he going in distress or some type of way, anything could happen. That's not a good thing, especially when he's sitting up there telling them that this happened, and then he said his mom finally had to step in to help him. I don't know if his mom working or she want that full-time job or whatsoever or doing that, which is at her child. I'm not gonna say she don't, but most states will pay you to take care of the disabled family members if you watching them all day. But yeah, and he was showing them and they didn't do anything about it. And as I said before, this man could have lost his life while they're in there sleeping. I mean, it's crazy, but hopefully he'll get somebody in there that can take care of him and look after him like they're supposed to be. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Jeremy, you are correct. Bed sores can be fatal after infection with sepsis. It's so true. So it's very important that, because naturally in our sleep, we don't know it, but we may end up in the same spot, but we are moving and twisting and turning a little bit while we sleep, right? So we naturally move ourselves. He cannot do that. So he needs them to move him so he does not get these bed sores and he's not laying on, in the same spot the whole time. This is dreadful. Something needs to be done. I'm glad he spoke up. He was bold to speak up. I just hope that he gets, after speaking up, he gets the real help that he needs. We're going to roll right into the last story where these parents are banned from the school system for life. I mean, they're just wild. The couple is banned. And I really think they brought this baby here for sympathy, but they ain't getting them from the judge. They a hot, stinking mess. Let's take a listen.
For life from all State Department of Education property following an alleged assault and video of a knockout punch of a school official. It's the first time the DOE has issued a permanent ban.
And tonight, a judge granted a temporary restraining order, and there was a huge show of support for the victim, Natalie Iwamoto. Mahea Lonnie Richardson has the story.
Outside of court, Moanalua High School's assistant athletics director, Natalie Iwamoto, got words of encouragement from supporters. On December 4th, after a heated basketball game, video shows a couple confronting Iwamoto, who weighs 135 pounds. A large man punches her, which sent her over a toddler and flying onto the pavement. Natalie Iwamoto did not want to speak publicly, but I did talk to her briefly. She has no outward physical sign of the attack, but she did say she suffered a concussion and had swelling in her face. This morning, Akusutino Noga, who's an adult corrections officer, and his wife, Jamie Lee Noga, appeared in district court for a temporary restraining order hearing, and they brought a baby girl with them. The Nogas are banned for life from all state DOE property.
This particular situation, though, with the egregiousness of the behavior that happened, definitely calls for a permanent statewide ban on all DOE property.
The judge also granted Iwamoto's TRO against them for 3 years. It means they cannot contact, threat, or harass Iwamoto. But in court, Mr. Noga asked an unusual question.
Hey, can I get a photo of them? I don't know who these people are. So.
Okay, so I'm not going to order that.
Mr. Noga has pleaded not guilty to second-degree assault, and both ignored HNN's questions as they were escorted by state sheriffs. Mr. Noga, what do you have to say to these people here who are here to support Natalie? Mrs. Noga, do you have anything to say to us today? Nothing? Any words for the public? Outside of court, roughly 100 people from the school and athletics community clapped for Iwamoto, which left her in tears. All condemned the violence.
It's just unacceptable. More needs to be done. Nat was at the receiving end of it, but it happens time and time again to officials, to coaches, and even athletic directors. I mean, you look at the outpour of support.
It looks like physically she's okay, but emotionally, after something like this happens, it's something that we hope no one ever has to go through again. So I think she bears a lot of the burden of what's going on and how this will impact high school athletics moving forward.
Sports leaders say they want safer games, and the DOE says it's working with principals and athletic directors to review safety protocols. Reporting from District Court, Mahea Lenny Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
This is so sad. I really feel for her, but the violence at games is out of control. And that big man hit that woman is just unbelievable. Savannah, your thoughts?
So what was the sentence? Because that was an assault. So I'm trying to figure out, I didn't hear, and that is a large man on a very thin woman. I wonder if there's something going on in the home where he thinks that he has the authority, just that he can just go ahead and strike a woman for. I'm so baffled. And then she trips over a baby in the video. I thought I saw that a baby fell down in the video. Is CPS investigating the family for any type of child neglect or something? There's something going on here. It's like we're missing chunks to this story. Why isn't he in jail? Or is CPS involved? What are his charges? Because they walked right out the courtroom. I don't get it. I'm confused. And yeah, I'm glad that they do have a statewide ban on any functions and events. Do they have a child that goes to that school?
Yes, I believe they do. I believe their son was in the basketball game. And just like a lot of these parents get upset about, I guess stuff that happens in the game or calls that are made. So yeah, they had a son in the basketball game and they was upset about something. They didn't give us the whole backstory. But at least these people are banned. It's insane to me.
But now they've embarrassed the son because now the whole school knows what his parents did to the coach. I mean, it is absolutely insane. And I feel like I'm missing parts of this story to make it connect to why this man is walking around, and he feels free that he can hit women. I'm confused, but I'm lost, Eva, on this one. And I'm glad that she's getting all the support, but I hope that the school does a little bit more for her.
I hope so too. And I have to dig a little further to see if he's facing charges, which he really should be. But I'm just glad that they're banned. So now your little daughter that you even have in your arms, I don't know who's gonna take her to school, to and from school, unless they move, because they're banned. Wayne, your thoughts?
That's shameful to see a man that big to, punch a woman like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are the kind of people that need to be incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not probation. No probation.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be incarcerated and be humbled. Because that blow could have been a death blow for that woman.
Woo! That's very true.
So a year or two behind bars is nothing compared to what could have happened. I hope, like you said in the article, I don't know if it said anything, the woman pressed charges and they filed a lawsuit, something. But this man, he needs to be taught a lesson. And a little probation, slap on the wrist, community service, nah, they ain't gonna cut it. Put him through some turmoil. That's it.
Yeah. And this is not me being shady. What's that darn movie that when I saw him, he reminded me of the movie. I gotta think of it. But he's a big guy. He's a big guy. In my opinion, your thoughts?
The way the 100 supporters came, it seemed like he been terrorizing everybody. I wonder how many other people he done put his hands on and just wasn't caught on tape. You know what? This definitely ain't his first time. You see how he was playing with the judge, talking about some, can you give me a picture? I don't know these people. You ain't gonna play with no judge like that if you ain't did it before.
That's you speaking facts.
Man, this man is a whole terrorist and a whole monster. He needs to be up under the jail.
Mm-hmm.
He don't never need to see the light of day. And that sorry excuse for a woman that's following him around, she need to be right there with him, planked up.
She does. And did you see her smirk as she was getting on the elevator? But did you see though the court officials had to kind of like escort them out? Katrina, your thoughts? What is the darn movie I'm thinking of? Somebody, Hakuna Matata. What is that darn movie?
Lion King.
Not the Lion King. I'm thinking of something else. It'll come to me. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, I guess it's stop now. Are you talking about Green Mile?
You sound like a robot.
Robotic. All right, Katrina's gonna have to go out and come back in. Thank you, 50 Go. Lilo and Stitch. That is exactly what I'm thinking of. That guy reminds me of a character from that movie. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. But he's a big guy. He's shameful, and you could tell the wife is about the same shenanigans as him, because she was just smirking on that elevator. Oh my God, disgusting behavior. And to think that they have other children is even sadder.
And imagine what they done trained that boy to be like.
Imagine. Imagine, I don't even know these people. So you could tell like he was acting a straight fool in the court probably when he went for the fact of assaulting her. I don't even know these people. Can I get a picture? Listen, that was all three of our stories. I'm going to close out though with a feel-good story, which we haven't had in like forever. So let me see. I'm trying to see if Katrina could connect back, but in the meantime, I will share this screen so we can see this feel-good story. It's a nice closeout thing to close out on.
Welcome back. This morning, a special Making a Difference surprise for a young woman quickly thrust into motherhood, forced to raise her 4 younger siblings. Their mother was shot and killed just a few months ago.
And sadly, it happened right in front of their home. At her young age, she's navigating grief, college graduation, starting her career, and taking care of her siblings who are grieving just as she is in their own way. So I surprised her as she's trying to find a way out of this real-life nightmare. We are here in Altgeld Gardens, and I'm joined by Crystal because you nominated a young lady that you know very well. Her name is Jameer. Why did you want to nominate Jameer?
She's a 22-year-old female that resides in Altgeld Gardens, and her and her siblings recently just experienced a tragic loss with their mom being gunned down.
The shooting happened here in front of their own home.
In front of their own home.
So they're reminded of that each and every single day.
Absolutely.
So the holidays are coming up. How does a 22-year-old provide for 4 siblings for Christmas?
I do know that she's still struggling to be able to just create a happy season for her siblings.
Right now, she's where?
She's in my office. She thinks that we're going to go over some paperwork because she's been anxious to get relocated so that she won't be able to have to walk into the space that reminds her of the trauma.
Jameer? Hi there. Can we come in? Hi there. My name is Everard Cassimy from NBC5. How are you? We are here to make a difference, and I think you know this lady here. She wrote a nice letter about you, and we wanted to let her read it.
I would like to nominate Jameer Eason and her family for this year's Surprise Holiday Initiative. Jameer has taken on the role of a guardian, nurturer, and provider, all by navigating her own grief and challenges that comes with becoming the head of household at such a young age. Jameer's story is one of love, perseverance, and strength in the face of tragedy. Supporting her and her siblings this holiday season will be a beautiful way to remind them that they are not alone and that the community stands with them.
How does it make you feel to hear what she had to say about you?
Validated because I have been through a lot. I have did a lot. I just feel very appreciated. Thank you so much for that because it makes me feel seen. Because it is hard.
What does your mom mean to you?
My mom means a lot. And I can't even put it into words. Like, I really can't. And I'm not going to cry. But she means a lot to me. And I really can't describe it.
We wanted to make a difference here at NBC5, and we've got a little bit of a surprise for you. Come on in. A check for $1,000 to help you through the holidays. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good. I definitely need it. So thank you.
What would you say to your mom if she could hear you right now as we're heading into the holidays?
I just hope she sees me and she is very proud of me. And she's recognizing that I'm trying my best. As far as me, I just want my mom to just see that I'm going to make sure everything is good while she's not here. So even though I'm hurt, my main priority is making sure my siblings are okay.
And she's doing just that. And I'm sure her siblings are incredibly proud of her as well. You can also help.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I had to stop it because he's about to talk about a song that he wrote, and the song is playing, and I don't want to get dinged. And he's saying that proceeds from the song he wrote is not going to go directly to her, but to the foundation that gives out money. I kind of wish they gave her more, but I think they started a GoFundMe for her because she's trying to move from the apartment where her mother was killed right in front of the apartment. But I thought it was a really sweet story. It really touched my heart. It's so sad. Anybody want to say anything before I close out?
These are the kind of GoFundMes you don't mind funding, even if you don't know the people. You know what I mean? Some of these people got carried away with GoFundMes.
They have.
Yeah, that's it.
They really have. Go ahead.
I agree. That's what I thought too, that these are the stories that GoFundMe should be set up for. And what a way to honor your mother and her legacy and her memory. And I hope that the community and other organizations have done more for her, because she's going to be able to change not only just her life, but her brother and sister's life. But it's a beautiful story.
Yeah. I'm like 1K. Y'all could have came up with more, but I mean, I guess it's nice that they gave her 1K. In my opinion, your thoughts?
It's hard to lose a parent, but it's even harder to take on the load of taking care of 4 siblings at the age of 23. I struggled with 2 at 23. I don't know how she doing it with 4. Kudos to her. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard task to do for anybody. And you know what? She didn't even she didn't blink about it or nothing. She said, "I'm doing this for my mama. I hope I'm making her proud." I hope that she know her mama is proud of her no matter what. Even if she fail, her mama's still gonna be proud of her because she's doing it. I do wish they would have gave her more, because 4 siblings at Christmas time in this economy, 1,000 is not going far. I do hope that they put up a GoFundMe for her. This is one that I will get behind.
Yeah, super sad. And like you said, listen, I'll be 100 with y'all. Taking care of one, and as a professional, working, nice job. It wasn't easy for me. So God bless her at 22. And like you said, 4 siblings and herself. I'm so sorry this happened to her mom. It's just sad. It's sad. But God bless her. And all of them. Listen, her and the siblings are beautiful. It's just sad. But I'm glad, she was featured. And hopefully, as a result of being featured, she'll get a lot of resources and help. Listen, everybody, y'all know the routine. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, do the diva a favor, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Love y'all.
Love you back.